My name is Morgan Blake. I'm 32, and 8 months ago I taught high school literature in Portland, Oregon. For 6 years, I shared my life with Ethan Reed, a financial advisor who made me believe in soulmates. This is the story of how he struck me in his mother's kitchen, and how I made certain he'd carry that weight forever. Ethan and I met at a literacy program 8 years ago. He had easy confidence and made you feel heard. We bonded over jazz records, hiking the Columbia River Gorge, and dreams of building something meaningful. His mother, Patricia, a former corporate executive with razor-sharp wit, welcomed me warmly. Sunday brunches at her Pearl District home became ritual. I thought I'd won the lottery. Partner in a bonus mom. We married after 2 years and bought a bungalow in southeast Portland. We talked about adoption, travel, building a life brick by brick. 3 years in, Ethan's father collapsed at a Rotary meeting. Massive stroke. Gone instantly. Patricia shattered. We showed up for her daily those first months: meals, comfort, sorting memories. I wanted to support her through grief. But Patricia transformed. The self-sufficient woman became someone unrecognizable. Phone calls escalated from once daily to 5 times. Ethan answered every ring. "She's processing loss, Morgan. We have to be patient." Patricia started making observations. Small corrections about how I cooked salmon, organized Ethan's office, prioritized my career over family. Every time I mentioned it, Ethan shut me down. That's her communication style. She's still grieving. Give her grace. The exact moment it crossed a line. 7 months after his father died, I came home to find my kitchen completely reorganized. Cast iron skillets relocated, cookbooks rearranged by color instead of author. Patricia had used our emergency key to enter my home and correct everything I'd been doing wrong. When Ethan arrived, I kept my voice level. "Your mom went through the entire house. I need you to ask her to call first." His expression hardened. "She's trying to help." "You're stretched thin. Don't be ungrateful." Ungrateful. That word lodged in my chest. Thanksgiving arrived. I'd spent weeks preparing heritage turkey, grandmother's cranberry relish, everything planned. Patricia showed up at 7:30 a.m. instead of 1 p.m., carrying grocery bags and her own roasting pan. By the time family arrived, she'd commandeered everything. When Ethan's uncle praised the food, Patricia smiled. "Well, someone needs to show Morgan how proper Northwest cooking is done. These younger women just don't have the foundation." Silence dropped over the table. My face burned. Ethan chuckled. "Mom, you're impossible." Like it was endearing. The medical emergencies broke me. Patricia called at 1:45 a.m. claiming heart palpitations. We raced to Providence Hospital. 4 hours later, nothing concerning, likely anxiety-induced. It happened again 3 weeks later. And again. By the 5th ER visit in 7 months, I noticed a pattern. These crises occurred on evenings we had plans. The last time, Patricia looked at Ethan from her bed. "If I lived closer, you wouldn't have to drive across town every time. What if something serious happens?" I tried establishing boundaries. Patricia told Ethan I wanted to cut her out of his life. "She's trying to take my son away after I lost my husband." Ethan came home defensive. "Can you just let this go? She's lonely." Patricia consumed every moment outside work. Friday evenings, Patricia needed computer help. Saturday mornings, Patricia wanted company. Sunday afternoons, always at Patricia's house. I started questioning my perceptions. Maybe I was hypersensitive. Maybe I was the problem. I felt like I was losing my grip on reality. But underneath the self-doubt, a voice whispered, "This isn't normal, this isn't healthy. And it's only going to escalate." One evening, Ethan announced Patricia had reserved a coastal rental for 4th of July. "It's going to be perfect. The whole family's coming." "Ethan, we're visiting my parents and boys. I requested time off months ago." He waved dismissively. "Mom already put down the deposit. We can see your family another time." Weeks later, I noticed large withdrawals in our checking account. When I asked, Ethan became defensive. "I gave Mom access for emergencies. Things are tight for her." "You gave your mother access to our money without discussing it?" It's not a big deal, Morgan. Except Patricia's emergencies included new furniture, a tablet, and eventually bedroom furniture for future space in our house. I discovered the delivery confirmation. Bed frame, dresser, nightstand, charged to our account. Sitting in storage. Patricia ran a quiet campaign against me. Ethan's cousin approached me at a barbecue. I hope things improve. Aunt Patricia mentioned you're struggling with married life transition. At church, Patricia stood during prayer requests. I want to ask for prayer for wives who resist God's design for family harmony. For women who place ambitions above their husbands and families. She never said my name. She didn't need to. Half the congregation turned to look at me. Patricia called my principal, Dr. Martinez, expressing concern I was experiencing stress affecting my teaching. I had to explain my mother-in-law was interfering professionally, which sounded insane. Then I found Patricia in our bedroom going through my dresser. I was looking for holiday photos. The photos were in the living room. She was at my underwear drawer. She turned to me. If you and Ethan had started a family by now, you'd understand why family is important. But I suppose you're too focused on your career. The financial control peaked when Ethan mentioned he'd co-signed Patricia's home equity loan. $45,000. Our credit and financial future on the line without discussion. I begged for marriage counseling. He agreed. The night before our appointment, Patricia called sobbing, saying I was turning him against her. Ethan canceled. Mom needs me right now. This is more urgent. We never rescheduled. My brother visited from Spokane and witnessed everything. After Patricia left, he said, Morgan, this dynamic is toxic. You recognize that, right? I broke down. Finally, validation. When Ethan came home and my brother addressed the boundary issues, Ethan exploded. You're turning your family against my mother. This is exactly what she warned me you'd do. Patricia started appearing at my school during lunch, standing by the parking lot, waving. I started having panic attacks before family gatherings. Lost 14 pounds in 2 months. My friend Sienna finally said, Girl, you need to document everything. Write it down. Save texts. Record conversations if legal. You're drowning. Ethan came home and casually mentioned Patricia was selling her house. She's staying with us temporarily while she figures out next steps. What do you mean stay with us? In the guest room. It's temporary. Stop making this difficult. Ethan, we've never discussed this. His face darkened. She's my mother. What am I supposed to do? Let her end up homeless? I took a deep breath. No, Patricia is not moving into our house. We need boundaries. Our marriage has to come first. We'll discuss this later when you're rational. That Sunday, at Patricia's house, she detonated her bomb over coffee. Ethan mentioned you have concerns about me moving in. I just want to understand why you don't want me there. I kept my voice calm. Patricia, it's about Ethan and me needing space as a married couple. That's healthy. Her eyes filled with tears. After everything I've sacrificed. After I welcomed you with open arms. When I need family most, you want to shut me out. Ethan's fist slammed the table. You're embarrassing me in my mother's house. She's been nothing but generous, and this is how you repay her? I stood. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going home. Ethan stood abruptly, grabbed my arm, spun me around, and slapped me across the face. The sound echoed through the dining room like a thunderclap. My head snapped to the side. I tasted copper. My ear rang. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. I touched my face, felt the heat radiating. I looked at Ethan and saw a stranger. His chest heaved, jaw clenched, not with remorse, but anger. Like I deserved it. Then I looked at Patricia. Her hand covered her mouth, eyes wide, performing shock. But I caught it a small, satisfied smile, victory. Ethan, she said softly. That might have been slightly excessive. But well, she did provoke you. I grabbed my purse. Neither tried to stop me. I walked out and drove without thinking. 2 hours later, I pulled into my brother's driveway in Spokane. My phone buzzed incessantly. Text after text from Ethan. Come home so we can talk like adults. You're overreacting. You provoked me. Mom is extremely upset. You really hurt her tonight. Not one apology. Just justifications, excuses, blame. I spoke the words aloud for the first time. I'm done with this marriage. My brother said, Good. Now let's make sure you're safe. And let's make sure he pays. That first week, I barely left the guest room. But my brother sat on my bed day 3. Morgan, you can cry or you can plan. If you're done, let's make sure you come out protected. I started with a free consultation with divorce attorney Lisa Chen. She listened to everything and leaned back. Documentation is everything. Without evidence, it's, he said, she said. You need proof. I became a strategist. I opened a separate bank account and transferred half our joint savings. While Ethan was at work, my brother Sienna and I went to the house. I gathered everything important: birth certificate, passport, marriage license, tax returns, bank statements. I photographed every document. I downloaded a voice recording app legal in Oregon's one-party consent state. Changed every password. My brother photographed my bruised face daily, documenting every stage. I contacted hospitals where Patricia had emergencies, requested medical records. I printed bank statements showing Patricia's unauthorized purchases, thousands over 18 months. I found the family group chat on Ethan's tablet with Patricia's undermining messages. Screenshot everything. Dr. Martinez provided a written statement about Patricia's interference. 3 neighbors agreed to testify about Patricia entering our house repeatedly. Then Lisa suggested something brilliant. Most abusers don't expect victims to return. What if you went back, appeared compliant, and gathered more evidence? Lisa helped me order a hidden camera disguised as an alarm clock, legal in Oregon. I packed an emergency bag at my brother's house. We established a timeline: 2 months maximum to gather courtroom-quality evidence. Then file for divorce and request a restraining order simultaneously. I called my parents and told them everything. My father said, whatever you need, money, a safe place, a lawyer, it's yours. Protect yourself first. I had my team. I had my plan. Now I just needed courage. 2 days later, I texted Ethan. I'm ready to come home and talk. His response: Good, Mom and I have been worried sick. When I walked in, they were waiting in the living room. I gave them the performance they expected. I'm sorry. I overreacted. I shouldn't have left. Patricia stood dramatically. Oh, sweetheart, we're so relieved you're safe. Ethan nodded, arms crossed. We can move forward, but you need to understand family comes first. Always. I nodded obediently. Inside, my heart hammered. The hidden camera was in my purse. My phone was recording. I understand. I want to do better. Over 2 months, I became a master performer. I agreed to marriage counseling. Ethan selected someone from Patricia's church. Every session was recorded. Patricia visited more frequently. I smiled through criticisms. The hidden camera captured everything. Patricia grew comfortable. On the phone with her sister. Sometimes women need to be firmly reminded of their place. Morgan's finally learning. Ethan handled it exactly right. I captured Ethan and Patricia talking when they thought I was at work. She learned eventually. Just like Dad taught you, Ethan said casually. Patricia laughed. Your father knew how to keep me in line. I was stubborn at first too. I recorded Patricia coaching Ethan before counseling. Don't let her manipulate you into feeling guilty. You're the head of the household. Stand firm. In one session, Ethan admitted slapping me but minimized it. I just gave her a necessary reality check. She was disrespecting my mother. The counselor nodded sympathetically. Emotions run high in family situations. I said nothing. Just let it record. Then came the trigger. Patricia announced at Sunday dinner. Wonderful news. I close on my house this Friday. The moving company comes Saturday. I looked at Ethan. We're really doing this. His voice carried that warning edge. We decided this weeks ago, Morgan. I took a breath. Actually, I have something important to share. I've invited some family members over this afternoon. They should be arriving soon. Patricia frowned. What do you mean? Who did you invite? You'll see. Within 30 minutes, my living room filled with people. Ethan's aunt and uncle, cousins, Patricia's sister, Pastor David. Ethan looked confused. Patricia looked nervous. I stood in front of the television and connected my laptop. Thank you for coming. I need witnesses to the truth. I pulled up the first image, my bruised face the day after. Audible gasps filled the room. Ethan hit me because I said I didn't want Patricia moving in. I have medical documentation, a police report. And I have this. I played Patricia's voice. Sometimes women need to be firmly reminded of their place. Patricia's face drained of color. That's out of context. I played Ethan. She learn eventually, just like Dad taught you. Then recordings of fake medical emergencies. Bank statements showing thousands in unauthorized charges. Text conversations about handling me, controlling me. Ethan lunged for my laptop. His uncle stepped between us. Son, don't you dare touch her again. Ethan's aunt stared at Patricia. What have you done to this family? What have you turned your son into? Patricia tried to summon tears. You know I would never intentionally harm anyone. Her sister pulled away. I just heard you, Patricia. We all heard your own voice. Pastor David shook his head. This behavior is ungodly. You've systematically destroyed your son's marriage through manipulation. I looked at them both. For 6 years, I tried to be who you wanted. I set myself on fire to keep you warm. You wanted to break me completely. Lisa, my attorney, stepped forward with another woman. You both need to leave this property immediately. Mrs. Reed is filing for a domestic violence protection order against both of you effective immediately. The process server handed them envelopes. Divorce papers for Ethan, protection order paperwork for both. Ethan's hands shook as he read. The prenup protects all my separate assets, I finished. Everything I earned remains mine. This house is titled solely in my name because my parents helped with the down payment. Remember? His uncle shook his head. This is a disgrace. We taught you better. Patricia reached for her sister desperately. You know who I really am. I just heard you confess to it, her sister said flatly. We all heard. I gathered my laptop. For 6 years you gaslit me, isolated me, controlled me. When I finally said no, Ethan struck me while you smiled, Patricia. Neither of you will ever have access to me again. I'm filing for divorce. I'm pursuing criminal charges. Everyone who matters will know exactly who you are. Lisa stepped forward. You both need to vacate immediately. Any further contact will result in criminal charges. I watched them leave for the final time. Ethan furious, Patricia's victim facade disintegrating. The extended family remained, some crying, some apologizing, all finally seeing the truth. Pastor David placed a hand on my shoulder. What you did today took immense courage. You protected yourself when no one else would. That's profound strength. As the door closed, I felt something I hadn't in years, freedom.
The first week after, Ethan tried every method to contact me. Each violation was documented and reported. Every boundary crossed became more evidence. Patricia took to social media, posting about false accusations and vindictive daughters-in-law, so I released carefully edited recordings publicly. Patricia's voice stating, women need to be reminded of their place. Ethan admitting to striking me. The clips went viral in our Portland community within hours. The comments on Patricia's posts shifted dramatically. This you, Patricia. Someone wrote, linking the audio. Her smear campaign detonated in her face. The church community fractured. Some older members stood by Patricia, but many, especially younger families and wives with similar experiences, reached out with support. Thank you for speaking up. Your story gave me courage to leave my own abusive situation. Pastor David preached about spiritual abuse and how churches sometimes protect abusers in the name of family unity. The message was clear: abuse hidden behind religious language is still abuse. Ethan's professional life unraveled. His firm found out through a colleague at our church. One of his largest clients, whose CEO was vocal about domestic violence prevention, dropped his services entirely. Word travels fast in professional circles. Patricia's social circle evaporated. Her friends started making excuses when she called. Nobody wants association with documented toxicity. The extended family division was swift. Ethan's aunt posted a public apology. "I apologize to Morgan for not recognizing what was happening. Abuse is abuse, regardless of family ties." She blocked Patricia completely. Patricia's own sister offered to testify on my behalf. "I've watched Patricia's manipulation for years. I should have said something. My parents drove from Boise and stayed 2 weeks. My father cried watching the video of my bruised face. I should have known." The legal proceedings moved fast. Ethan violated the restraining order twice, once showing up at my house late at night, once following me from the grocery store. Both times he was arrested. Both violations strengthened my case. The DA told me, "We have recorded admissions, photographic evidence, medical documentation, and a clear pattern. This is one of the strongest cases I've handled." A local news station picked up the story as "Local educator exposes domestic abuse and mother-in-law's manipulation." They protected my identity, but the story resonated. 3 other women from our church reached out privately with their own disturbing stories about Patricia's behavior. Ethan lost 2 more clients within a month. His income dropped 50%. The church asked Patricia to take an indefinite break from women's ministry leadership. They removed her but tried to let her save face. My principal, Dr. Martinez, called me to his office. "Morgan, you demonstrated immense strength. We are proud to have you on staff." He later shared my story at a district meeting about recognizing domestic abuse warning signs. 6 months after that confrontation, I sat in a courthouse and watched a judge sign my divorce decree. Final. The judge extended the protection order for the maximum duration. Ethan was ordered to pay spousal support enough that every month he'd remember what he destroyed. Walking out of that courthouse, I felt physically lighter. 1 year later, my life looked radically different. I transferred to a new school and within 6 months was promoted to assistant principal. "Your strength and advocacy skills, that's what leadership looks like," my principal said. I bought my own small house. 2 bedrooms, a garden, entirely mine. I painted walls, colors I loved. I adopted a dog named Justice. I heard Ethan remarried quickly and his new wife moved in with him and Patricia. The exact situation he'd tried to force on me. Within months, she filed her own complaint about Patricia's harassment. I hoped she got out before it escalated. Patricia's health declined, stress-related issues, high blood pressure, anxiety. For once, medically real. Part of me felt sympathy, but I remembered her satisfied smile when her son struck me. My sympathy had limits. Now, 2 years post-divorce, I'm in weekly therapy with a counselor specializing in trauma recovery. I'm dating again slowly, carefully, learning what healthy love looks like. I started a support group for domestic violence survivors, focusing on Black women dealing with family manipulation and spiritual abuse. We meet twice monthly. We share stories, pool resources, exchange legal contacts. I bring in attorneys for free consultations, therapists who donate time, financial advisors. Watching these women reclaim their lives gives me profound purpose. I've spoken at 3 Portland area churches about spiritual abuse and how religious communities sometimes enable toxic family dynamics. It's terrifying every time, but women approach me afterward crying, thanking me. One woman left her abusive marriage after hearing me speak. Ethan and Patricia's relationship has completely fallen apart. He blames her for everything: his divorce, lost clients, damaged reputation, unhappy second marriage. They barely speak now. Patricia's isolated, health failing, son resenting her. She destroyed relationships trying to control everyone and ended up utterly alone, but Ethan's extended family still reaches out to me warmly. His aunt texts on holidays. His cousins invite me to events. The family chose truth over loyalty to abusers. Patricia and Ethan get excluded now. The family chose me. That speaks volumes. I've completely rebuilt my credit and established financial independence. My relationship with my family is stronger than ever. I have a new friend circle who celebrate my growth. My career is flourishing. I'm being considered for a principal position at a new school opening next year. I'm pursuing my doctorate in educational leadership. And I'm considering adoption maybe in a year or 2, building a family on my own terms, showing a child what healthy relationships look like. 2 years ago, Ethan struck me thinking he'd broken me. Patricia smiled, thinking she'd won. But standing here now, in my own home, career thriving, healing, progressing, future wide open, I'm the one who won. I didn't just survive. I rebuilt myself into someone stronger, wiser, more resilient, completely unbreakable. That's the greatest victory possible. Lessons learned looking back. I wish I'd started documenting from the first boundary violation. That first uninvited entry, that first passive-aggressive comment, that first dismissed feeling. I would have had years of evidence instead of scrambling. I wouldn't have waited to seek legal counsel. That consultation should have happened 2 years earlier. And I would have told more people sooner. Patricia and Ethan's power came from my isolation. They counted on me being too embarrassed to tell anyone. Isolation gives abusers power. Community takes it away. But I'm proud of what I did. Returning home to gather evidence was terrifying but became key to protecting myself legally. Staying calm during the final confrontation, presenting facts, not breaking down made all the difference. I protected my finances first, which gave me crucial options. And most importantly, I refused to accept blame. I didn't let them gaslight me. I trusted my perception of reality. If you're seeing yourself in this story, hear me clearly. Document everything. Dates, times, what was said, who witnessed it. Save texts and emails. Record conversations if your state allows. Take photographs of injuries. Create an undeniable paper trail. Protect your finances. Open a separate account. Monitor your credit. Gather important documents. Financial abuse is real, and economic dependence keeps people trapped. Build your support system. Tell people you trust what's happening. Tell family, friends, pastor, therapist. Abusers work in darkness. Shine light. Know your legal rights. Free consultations exist. Domestic violence hotlines offer resources. Restraining orders are available. You have more power than you think. Get individual therapy, not couples counseling. Couples therapy assumes good faith. In abusive situations, it gives abusers ammunition. You need your own therapist, your own advocate, your own safe space. Have a safety plan. A packed go bag with clothes, documents, cash. A safe place identified. Someone trustworthy checking on you regularly. Plan while you have clarity. And the hardest truth, don't try to negotiate with abusers. They won't suddenly see reason or develop empathy. Abusers change only when facing real consequences, and even then, change is rare. For those facing religious pressure about honoring parents or in-laws, honor does not mean accept abuse. It doesn't mean tolerate disrespect or sacrifice your safety. Toxic culture protects abusers by weaponizing faith. Your safety matters more than keeping peace or maintaining appearances. Setting boundaries isn't disrespectful or ungodly. It's essential self-preservation. It's survival. You deserve to be safe. You deserve respect. You deserve a life free from manipulation and control. If people who are supposed to love you cannot provide that, you have every right to walk away and build something better. Trust me, I did exactly that, and I have never been happier, healthier, or more whole. That slap was the best thing that ever happened to me in a twisted way. It woke me from denial. It shattered every excuse. It showed me exactly who they were. And it gave me the clarity to fight back. I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor who fought back strategically, legally, intelligently. And one decisively taught Patricia, and Ethan taught me what I'll never accept again from anyone. They taught me my peace is worth protecting fiercely, that my boundaries are non-negotiable, and that I'm far stronger than I knew. To anyone reading who sees themselves here, you deserve better. You deserve respect. You deserve safety. You deserve love without conditions, manipulation, or control. And you have the power within yourself to claim it. If this resonated with you, share it. It helps people realize they're not alone, not imagining things, not overreacting. Domestic violence resources. National hotline 1-800-799-7233. Legal aid organizations, shelters, counseling services. If you're in danger, please reach out immediately. You're not alone. You teach people how to treat you by you tolerate. I tolerated disrespect, manipulation, and control for too long. But the moment I said enough, everything changed. I'm Morgan Blake, and this was my story of refusing to be broken, of strategic survival, of reclaiming my life. Thank you for being here. Your time matters, and I hope my story gave you something valuable, whether validation, courage, information, or just knowing you're not alone. Someone out there needed to hear this today.